Hello and welcome everyone to this week's COT review. I'm Thomas from COTbase.com. Today we're going to look at the second report of this year. And as usual, we're going to start off with the changes in commercials positions. Here we go. You can see we have the S&P 500 on top of our list with a 35% change in commercials positions, 53 in large speculators, pretty decent changes, large changes. But surprisingly, these are bullish COT change signals, which is interesting to see at such price levels and after such a movement in the market. So you have to be cautious, of course, regarding these signals right now. Opening a 5 years chart, you can see the COT extreme on this wider time frame. We have just moved away from that bearish extreme we were at last week, which again, it's interesting. As I've always told you, caution is advised in indexes these days. So I'd suggest us to just move on and have a look at platinum, where there's a huge 27% change in commercials positions. This is a bearish change signal that could affect the market early next week. And on this 5 years chart, you can see that, well, we're more or less in between the two extremes. So nothing from that side, not too much help from the COT report over here. Moving on to the Australian dollar, where we have this 26% change. Well, we're talking about a currency, so the 26 is actually very large. You can see on the chart we don't see such changes too often. And with this change, commercials, as you can see, have just moved back to net short territory, and large speculators are again net long. So that's interesting, and everything becomes more clear if we open the 5 years chart, meaning we can see how large the stress level is in this market. And you can see that we're more or less in between the bullish and the bearish extremes, but even relative extreme are able to affect the market. You can see how well actually you can see these bullish COT extremes in the past, and of course we've got some bearish extremes, these relative ones I'm talking about right now. So in this case, 2-3 weeks ago we had this bullish extreme, which was actually ending this little reaction from the price in this rally. And we can expect this to continue. So basically, until we reach a relative or, well, even greater all-time extreme, bearish extreme, we can expect the price of Australian dollar to move upwards. Let's move on and have a look at large speculator COT extreme. Okay, and all three markets I'm going to talk about today have reached an all-time COT extreme. So let's start off with heating oil. So you can see that we've been very close to this all-time extreme, this bearish extreme, and the price of heating oil has been gradually, steadily going up and up. So that kind of underlines the fact we need to be careful. I talked about this in case of crude oil, and of course we're going to look at it just in a moment. That these all-time COT extremes, although they're very rare, it doesn't mean that they shift the market trend very soon. So they could be in the market for a couple weeks, maybe even a few months before the price actually reacts. So what we need to put away for ourselves from this COT review is that the stress level is huge in large speculators positions, also actually in commercials as well, and we should be positioning ourselves accordingly. I can't say that this market is going to crash now, but one thing's for sure, the report is, as you can see, if we go back in time, you can check it for yourself, is generally pretty effective. So let's move on and have a look at the crude oil, where we have again a all-time COT extreme. Jumping to the 5 years chart, well, yeah, that's it. So more or less the picture was pretty much the same in heating oil. And we talked about crude oil in the last couple of weeks. The extreme just became larger, and we need to be patient. So that's that. The last market for this review is the Euro market. Here we go. The 5 years chart is more visible. You can see this extreme becoming larger and larger, basically since since the end of 2016. This extreme was becoming larger and larger towards the bearish side of the market, and eventually we've reached this all-time bearish extreme, meaning commercials were never as close to 200,000 contracts net long level, or large speculators have never kept above 150,000 contracts net long level. So those are huge numbers, and underlines the fact that stress level is growing very, very large. Okay, that was all for this COT review. Don't forget to check our new service, futurestradingguys.com. You can click over here and then get to that service. We're coming out with new features basically almost every week. I hope you're gonna have a little peek on that and see what it can give you. I hope you enjoyed this COT review, and I hope to see you next week. Have a great weekend. Take care. Goodbye.